Welcome to day 2 of going through my yarn stash. I would like you to meet my acrylic yarn stash. So this is most of my acrylic yarn that I have. I keep it in a drawer under my bed. So as you can see, I've taken it all out and put it on my bed so that we can sort it. I've already roughly sorted it into labeled versus unlabeled. My plan here is to go through and maybe organize them by weight and maybe even by color as well. And then that way I can log basically bundles in Ravelry instead of having to go through each specific yarn, log the colors, log what yarn I think it might be, that sort of stuff. Let's get to sorting. I'm also going to be unraveling any partial whips that I have because there are a few in here, but they are pretty small for the most part. So if anything's still attached to the skein, I'm just going to go ahead and unravel it quickly. But if it's not attached to the skein, I'm just going to put it to the side and maybe we can go through it. If I go through my whips eventually, which hopefully I can. Honestly, I'm not even sure how I was able to acquire this much acrylic yarn over the years. As I probably previously mentioned, I started crocheting in 2020. So it's been about 5 years since I started doing that. So, and acrylic yarn was what I used primarily for a few years while I was just crocheting, making, I wasn't too serious about fiber content or honestly yarn weight either. So I was mostly just using worsted acrylic. It's affordable, so there's definitely a plus there. It's accessible. I was able to just go to my local Michael's, my local Joann's, RIP, and just pick up whatever colors I wanted for a project. But now that I am getting more into other fibers, I am realizing the importance of selecting certain fibers for the right project. And especially because I like to make clothes, I'm learning that acrylic is just not the best option out there. And I am willing to spend a little bit more money to buy better quality yarns. Uh, I do still think that acrylic is a great affordable option if that is, something that you don't want to spend as much money on, or if that's just what you have accessible to you. Totally fine. I also would find that if I had a color, if I also would find that if I was looking for specific colors for a project, I wouldn't always look to see if I already had that color in my stash. So, like, I have two skeins of the same black color, and I don't even remember what it was for, what I bought it for at all. But I mean, black is a common color, so I'm sure that I will use it eventually. So, sometimes it is good to have. I do still like to use acrylic yarn for amigurumi. I don't mind using it for scarves, hats, even things like that. It's really just like sweaters, tops, and other sorts of garments where I do really prefer to have a natural fiber instead of an artificial one, because I do heat. I overheat pretty easily. I just like my garments to be breathable and not too hot. I'm also not really gonna like worry too much about the state of the yarn. Like this one, it was tangled, so I just wrapped it around the skein. Whatever. Don't really care very much. Adorable. All right, I'm now going to go ahead and sort the unlabeled yarn into I think I'm going to sort it by weight, and honestly maybe just stop there. Yarns like this where they're unlabeled, but like I'm pretty sure I know what they are. Like I have a labeled skein of this Woolies. So, and this honestly, it's 20% wool, so that's nice too. I do like a good blend as well, especially for like hats and scarves and stuff like that where um it's still a garment, so I do care about fiber content a little bit more, but for those specific garments, I don't care as much because I just want it to be warm. And if my scarf isn't breathable, like it's okay to me, because I want it to keep me really warm. But she keeps them. See, like, why do I have so much red? Like, I don't really use red, like, especially a red acrylic. Like, why do I have two used skeins of it plus two cakes or three cakes of it? Like, why is that here? Oh, this one has a label. All right, so we have labeled. We have this is all my worsted weight acrylic. We have chunky acrylic. This will range from anywhere from bulky to super bulky to jumbo. And then my DK weights or lighter weights. Oh, and then the weird ones that I don't know what category to put those in. Okay. Oh, and I also have I actually got this bag of random boucle acrylic yarn from work because I was cleaning out our yarn bin there and they didn't want all this, so I got to take it home. So here's what we are working with. Now, what we're going to do is I think I'm going to go through the labeled ones first and write everything down on my notepad, which I have to grab, and weigh everything. So to weigh things, again, I have my handy food scale here, and we're just going to do it. So let's begin with the labeled yarn. these two balls are this Bernat Softy Chunky, I'm pretty sure. So I'm gonna log it with that. This yarn is 396 grams and 744 yards. Red Heart Super Saver Jumbo. So that is all the labeled yarn that I have weighed. So I'm going to clear a little bit of space on the bed and just put all that stuff away. Now we're sorted out a little bit better. We have some more space, so I'm going to go ahead and start logging all of these. So I actually do know a couple of these yarns, such as this one. I know that it's Hobie's Fantasy, because I recently got it. And then I know what this is, and I already have it, part of it in my stash, if you remember. Pretty sure this is Lion Brand Hometown. Hi, honey. This looks like Lion Brand Hometown, but I'm not sure, so I'm gonna just say I don't know what it is. This actually might be some of the yarn I already measured. I feel like it's like this one. Oh yeah, that's definitely that one. So I'm gonna add some grams for that one. Alright, well, since these are the only two chunky yarns where I don't know exactly what they are, I'm just gonna put them separately. Might as well. And just write descriptive words. Alright, now for the other weight yarns, like the DK pile, for example, I really don't know what yarns they are, so I'm just going to weigh them all together and take a picture of all of them, and then log in Ravelry, like miscellaneous DK acrylic, something like that, so that I don't have to actually go and identify each one. So let's add up how much they all weigh. Lumping them all together will also help if I decide to like make like an amigurumi project, for example, where I'm using multiple colors so that I don't have to keep track of the grams that I'm using for each color, and instead I can just say I use some DK yarn for this, or for my acrylic, for my worsted weight, I can just say I use this many grams, and I don't have to actually measure the individual colors, if that makes sense. I just think it will be a lot easier. Especially since I want to track how much of my stash I'm using next year. Cool. And I do have to take pictures of these bundles still. Oh, Portia, I don't want to disturb you. I have to measure the boucle, but she's on it. Hey, sweetie. Oh, okay. We'll do worsted first. Worsted. Okay. Actually, let's do these weird yarns. I mean, they do... Honestly, I don't even know if I want to freaking measure these. I got this yarn from a coworker at a job I used to work at, and I don't anymore, and like she wanted me to make her like a scarf out of it, and I'm like, what? Like, it's like, I don't know, it's like ribbon yarn almost. This I think is called like ladder yarn. I know I'm far away, but I don't know. It's weird. They're weird yarns. I don't like them very much. But let's measure them. I'm going to zero out this because this one is wrapped around a cardboard tube. Wow, yeah, because it's 17 grams. No, yeah, 17 grams, so that's a lot. So when I measure that, I'm just gonna do subtract like 15 because it's not as big of a tube. Weird yarn. 48 plus. This one I don't have a lot of. 23 minus 15 is 8 grams. Did I do that right? I hope so. Okay. Alright, so we have those weird yarns. Take a picture of those. And oh, this was in the DK as well. Plus 3. 4. Okay, okay, how am I gonna do this? Yeah, I'm not even gonna bother sorting it into colors. I was contemplating that, but I'm not gonna do that. My excuse is the thing about measuring each color, because I'm not going to be doing that with a project. So I'm just going to, if I make a project in acrylic, it's probably all going to be acrylic. Like, it's probably going to be completely acrylic. So I'm just going to take the total grams out for whatever I'm making. So let's see how many we can stack on here. Wait, you can't see. Okay. Let's see. Just for the sake of time. No? Maybe here? No. Let's just do this. Cool. Okay. Yeah, this is going to be a lot of grams. I'm curious to see how much acrylic yarn I have. So there's that. Oh no. Did I measure this? I don't know if I did. I'm gonna measure it. Anyway. And last but not least, these red ones. Which I'm pretty sure I bought the big one for the crochet classes I do, so that makes sense. Okay. And one more. Okay. Okay. That is everything. Oh, it is not everything. I need to disturb Portia. Portia, I'm sorry. Oh, actually, here's another worsted that she was hiding. $38 grams. Okay, and then I'm gonna do the same with the boucle. Just do various boucle, acrylic, Portia, I'm sorry. Excuse me. Okay, she wasn't too much on it, which was good. All right. My business, got my lips. That's so provocative. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this, but like I couldn't. It's just too beautiful. Like these colors. Hello. And maybe that's why I have all this yarn. And then I'm gonna give this yarn its own category because it's not boucle. It's like this hairy, fuzzy, sparkly blue yarn. Also got that from work. So I'm going to go ahead and take pictures of what I need to take pictures of and put everything away. And that will conclude day 2 of logging my yarn stash. And of course, I will be keeping track of the total grams for the total roundup at the end.